This one at just 11 minutes before top of the hour, 10 o'clock Central African time. Now, International Data Privacy Day takes place every year on the 28th of January. The purpose of the Data Privacy Day is to raise awareness and promote privacy and data protection best practices. These days initiatives focus on raising awareness amongst businesses as well as users about the importance of protecting the privacy of their personal information online, particularly in the context of social networking, with the educational focus and has expanded over the years to include families, consumers, and businesses. Now we are talking to John Chinzeki, cybersecurity expert, data governance leader, and president of the Zambian Cybersecurity Initiative Foundation, about the importance of data privacy and the threats to data protection. Good morning.
Morning, and it's a pleasure to connect and speak to the listeners on the importance of this very important but usually neglected and ignored topic because most people do not really care about the data they put out online.
Oh, true that. And we put a lot. And
A lot,
sometimes
actually.
the end goal is to kind of get a following or traction or la 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 la. So it never really, we don't get to the backstage part of it.
Exactly. It's the biggest problem because I think we tend to really be so insensitive to the information that we put out there, the location, our birthdays, our children's photos, the day our children are born, our checking at the airports, and a lot of things that we do privately we tend just want to like show off. Sometimes it's, I think, excitement being online, sometimes validation, amongst your colleagues. Maybe you want to kind of show them that the John that you knew years back is no longer the same one. I'm now upgraded. I'm now flying around the world. I'm at the airport. I'm doing this. I'm looking like this. And we put out too much. And we tend really not to really understand the danger that comes with putting out so much information that is so private in nature on the internet. I think excitement kicks in. I think most at the center of everything that we do, like getting also likes and followers and comments. I think we tend really to be so much hungry for likes, and in the process, we actually risk our own privacy and invite unsolicited. You see, this is unknown, actors and characters in our privacy without actually us knowing that we actually open the door wide for them to enter our spaces and get
Yeah.
to use our data.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. But when we look back over the last 10 to 15 years, how has data security improved globally?
Yeah, I think there's been an improvement. I think we had projected that by the year 2020, we're supposed to have at least had about 4 billion cybersecurity experts helping securing personal data. And that number was not attained because I think a number of young people that are going to university to start cybersecurity, practical cybersecurity, offensive cybersecurity, the number is quite still small. And so the number, I think we didn't even get a million as at the same year that we mentioned the projected that year. So over the last 15 years, there was also like social media was not an in thing. It wasn't so public. It wasn't so very much with us. And mostly we kept information mostly to ourselves. We kept information in our diaries, in our books, and on our computers. And now with so technology advancing, Facebook coming now blowing out of proportion, we now have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, which is now X. Platforms just became publicly accessible by everyone who had a smartphone. The internet became cheap and affordable in most parts of the world, like in Zambia. Internet is very cheap. Very cheap. I mean, very cheap. I mean, even a young boy can afford that. It's 1 gigabyte of data bundles, and so over the years now, things now when the people now the institutions, the governments noticed that. A huge number of people who are offline are now online. They have migrated. Everything is being done online. Also, we're catapulted also further by the dawn of COVID-19. No COVID-19, because it moved, it pushed a lot of people from the physical spaces. Today, we are on this call here doing a video conferencing call, which was not the case before. That time, it was so popular. Working from home was not it's a big thing. It is now a big thing because COVID actually accelerating this particular issue of moving away from physical, working styles to online. And we have a lot of people that moved online. People are selling things online, trading online, and everything else. Even the scammers also moved to online places. So that I think now is now what brought about governments to come up with laws, policies, legal frameworks aimed at keeping the online spaces that have become, accessible to every person, secure, and private for those that are using them. And a lot of policies have come up. I think in Zambia we have the Cybersecurity and Cyber Crimes Acts. There are two now, Data Protection Act, and I've seen quite a number of other countries also did the same thing. They also brought in the same laws. I think they domesticated what was enacted at the AU level, like it's continental level. I think most of that came from the GDRP, the GDPR, from the UK. Then they got, I think, components from there, tried to domesticate and created scenarios that are focusing on the localized, context of, of the law, and that's why we have seen now at least the BC. So there have been interventions in African countries, in terms of putting policy, because policy is the first step in the right direction of putting together security, measures in protecting data and everything else. So policy was put together. And then we also saw the curricula changing in universities. Training cybersecurity now became an in-thing. Degrees now are introduced. Some were just components of the main computer science degree courses. Now there's a full degree on cybersecurity. We saw the dawn of companies such as EC Council, ISC squared, who then intensified in training cybersecurity experts around the world, with a number of our own people, becoming graduates of those in particular courses, certified in cybersecurity, certified ethical hacking, and many other, cybersecurity related professions that then assisted in building human capital vis-a-vis legal framework to try and create security for data. And then now we have policies that also, and organizations are now also domesticating policies in terms of how do you bring in your own device from outside. Okay, they bring on device policies, the social media policies, the even accessibility issues of sharing information across, in organizations, everything also. So everything has advanced in terms of all that. In fact, now we've seen the dawn of virtual private networks where we interlink organizations together, and all that also itself, security comes into play, and that now had to bring in the aspect of employing, so, qualified manpower in these institutions to help secure data, because data is secure from the top, is secure from the bottom to the bottom as well. So I think those are interventions that I think have been made in the last 15 years thereabout, and they're still growing and going. And the last couple of years, I think now about 16 countries have had their national AI strategies and policies, developed and launched, which is now also pushing into the same direction of data protection and data privacy, as it were, because now with the dawn of AI, we can talk about sophisticated techniques that are easily created using AI tools that I think we've seen flying around the internet. We have seen a lot of phishing links that can be created easily even by just a script kiddie. We never, we don't really need so much cybersecurity skill today to create sophisticated tricks to scam one suspecting, targets. So all that put together, it has just been an evolving, thing. And today we are here talking about data safety and protection, data privacy protection, which is now the in thing, because data is the new god. And if we don't secure data, we are giving power to companies that are resurrecting from without and starting to grow from without, exponentially. Uh, just based on people's data. We have seen how some companies really have built big buildings, offices, just praying people's private data, our birthdays, our this. We've seen the likes of applications such as Truecaller, okay, TeamViewer, those that thrive on available data. TeamViewer, I think, has been, I'm sorry, Truecaller has been around for over 10 years, and you can see how Truecaller actually has grown as a company just simply by preying on the data that we keep in our phones. Okay, they make our calls look nice. When somebody with a strange number calls you, the name pops up where they work and everything else. Now they are advancing. Now they even put location, where you work and everything else. Now they are linking even to Facebook and WhatsApp and everything else. Now we see companies such as Meta and many other that are building mobile applications, putting mandatory, permission requirements for them to allow you to install their applications on devices. So we've seen all of that, and we've also seen a little bit of awareness campaigns that have been popping up here and there. A few companies are doing a lot, doing their best. Governments are doing their best, but mostly governments, they don't invest much in awareness. So it's now civil society organizations like ours, private sector, who now are supposed to take up this mantle. And I think we've been in forefront fighting, for data protection, data privacy, informing the people from time to time on radio, on TV. But you see, it all comes down to what you
Yeah.
choose to consume. As
John,
you so
unfortunately, we've come to the top of the hour, and I have to cut our conversation short, but quite informative there. Unfortunately, we can't proceed beyond this time.
thank you so much.
Thank you for talking to us this morning.
Bye. Good day.
All right, and that was John Chinseki, cybersecurity expert, data governance leader, and president of the Zambian Cybersecurity Initiative Foundation. Just opening our eyes there about what is happening when we just passively send, share, upload, promote, whatever that we've been doing, not knowing that there's actually a big machine that's collecting and using that without our full consent. It is 10 o'clock. Let's go to the news.